Well, doing some research for a while, because I feel like you can't invoke a god without knowing about them. Found out a lot of curious things for myself. Under another name, which I cannot pronounce, Ra was considered an androgynous being. He was both male and female. He can impregnate himself. I can identify with that. And Hathor, being his daughter or his creation, depending on the story that you go by, was actually, her symbol was a cow. And that meant a lot too. Yeah, it kind of made everybody's like, oh, okay, now I get it. Yeah. I understand the attraction now to that. So, he also, 12 hours out of the day when he was not in the sky, he would shine light in the underworld, bringing light to the beings in the underworld for those 12 hours, even though he was leaving afterwards. And I identify with that too from something that you had told me, that I'm kind of on my own trip on the underworld right now. Mm-hmm. So maybe he's my light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I got my Ra tattoos. Before I found out he was androgynous on both sides, and it felt right. So that helped me understand that that was okay too. I'm sorry.
No, let it go.
I don't know why I'm crying.
Because you're feeling the spirit. Let it flow. Don't try to fight it.
A couple of days ago, I put my notes up that I had took that information that I was thinking that you had wanted. And I thought, okay, I'll put this here, I won't lose it. Yeah, he hid it from me. Today, when I went to go back and find it, it was not in the exact place I had put it. And I looked everywhere and could not find it. I was like, alright, you're not supposed to hide my stuff from me. But at the same time, I felt like he kind of wanted me to do it on the fly. I wasn't necessarily supposed to know particular things. He did have a few cities named after him where he was the main god of worship. Quit being impatient. It keeps making my mind blank every time I start thinking. I went through my book to try to come up with a few things. And the whole time...
Draw down and let him tell us.
All time, okay.
Draw down and let him tell us about himself.
I call upon Ra, the sun god, the creator of the heavens, the earth, and the underworld, the Father God, the Father of all gods, Ra, Ra, Ra. Woof. Oof. Alrighty then. And she's right. I gave her name for a reason. It suits her. She's lived most of her life in darkness with very little light. And then when she found it, it was ripped away from her. She identifies with me because of the similarities of her having to be both male and female in her own life. And not having anything to lean on. Just like I didn't. She has her children, as I had my children that I created. And grandchildren betrayed me. ISIS took my powers. But I had one for her son Horus was my rebirth. And I think at this point, that's all I really need to say.
So let it be.
So much.
Yeah, it's good, babe.
Tingly.